completely botched the intro because my fucking mic wasn't working right away, but it's good, everyone. GZTV back with another video. In this video, we are going to be talking about the weekend in NBA basketball, pretty much all the big games. There's like 10 games I want to talk about here. It's going to be a somewhat long video. The Lakers and Knicks game just ended, but we can talk about the other games first. We're going to start with some Friday games. Trailblazers Sixers, pretty good game there. Joel Embiid hits a jumper to give the 76ers a comeback win over the Blazers. From the foul line, Joel Embiid, tough ass fadeaway with 1.1 seconds left. He drills it, and yeah, they won by one. They come back. They were able to win that game, and yeah, very good season so far for the Sixers for sure. Well, but looking at the Blazers first, 24 and 10 for Jeremy Grant off of 50% three-point shooting. You get 22 points, 11 assists for D'Lo, 34 points for Anthony Simons off of 67% shooting or three-point shooting. I'm glad to still see Anthony Simons having some pretty solid games, honestly. So that's cool. But man, Matisse Thybulle and Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe didn't play too well, so rough games for those two guys. If one of those guys would have hit a couple more big shots, they would have won the game. You look at the Sixers, 39 points for Embiid. He was just carrying this damn team. He shot 65% overall. Just an MVP caliber performance. Hits the game winner. I mean, what more can you ask for out of Embiid? But anyway, let's move on to the Hawks and the Wizards. Hawks beat the Wizards by 7 to sweep the two-game set at Washington. That's pretty big. That's big time for the Hawks because they've been struggling to kind of get over that 500 hump, and here we are after a two-game sweep. Good stuff for the Hawks, very pivotal. If Atlanta and Washington do meet in the postseason, Trae Young and the Hawks should feel pretty confident after this meeting. I mean, this is a possible play-in type of matchup right now. So, yeah, they were able to beat Porzingis, putting up 43 points. And, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. But let's look at the Hawks. I mean, Trae Young pretty much carried. I mean, 28 points off of 60% three-point shooting. He had a night there for sure. Porzingis continuing to play well, 22 points. You get 27 points out of Brad Beal. It's just like Monte Morris and Denny Avdia kind of struggling this game for the Wizards. And by the way, I forgot to talk about this at the beginning of the video. I covered a lot of games over spring break in a Twitch VOD. It should be on my channel somewhere, unless it got copyrighted, because I mean, to be fair, I was listening to some music on there. So yeah, if you want to check the VOD out, if you can. I mean, you just kind of got to be there live, honestly. But this is the last video in my home setup because I'm going back to college tomorrow morning. So just want to put some of that stuff out there. Cavs and Heat, these two teams, pretty good matchups over spring break for sure. Jimmy Butler scores 33. The Heat rally to beat the Cavs by 4. A lot of two-game series and a lot of fun ones. Jimmy Butler did everything right in the final minutes. He knew when to score, knew when to rebound, even knew when and how to foul. I mean, this is what good NBA players are made out of. Jimmy Butler, very good performance. We can talk about the Cavs because, I mean, we need more from the Cavs than a 42-point game for Donovan Mitchell. I mean, the dude shot 50% from the field. He is a prolific scorer in the NBA. It's just, you know, and I can appreciate guys like Jared Allen getting rebounds, but my goodness, the dude needs to score. That dude needs to learn how to score more for this squad for sure. I mean, he needs to be a double-digit scorer. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. But the Heat obviously get the win. 33 points out of Jimmy Butler. Didn't miss a three. Shot 75% overall. 25 points for Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero having a pretty solid stretch here for the Heat. Sorry if I'm looking down and I'm getting out of frame every now and then, but yeah, there was that game. Nets, Timberwolves, man, I'm happy. I love watching the Nets. The Nets, teams like the Nets, the Lakers, of course my Celtics, those are like my favorite teams to watch in the NBA. Ever since the trade acquisitions, even teams like the Mavericks, like I'm just looking, I'm just trying to see who profited, who didn't. I mean, it's always an interesting thing. But One guy that has definitely profited individually out of this, Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges scores 34 points. The Nets outlast the Timberwolves in overtime, and my goodness, Mikal Bridges is growing into something special for this Brooklyn team. Great scoring for Mikal Bridges. Fellow Brooklyn newcomer Spencer Dinwiddie came up with a final stop, and yeah, just a big win. I mean, this is still a pretty good team they're playing here, and for them to win that game, obviously Anthony Edwards was playing pretty incredible. For them to win that game, it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty cool thing. I mean, 34 points for Mikal Bridges off of 50% three-point shooting. You get a 29-point, 11-assist performance for Spencer Dinwiddie. We know Spencer Dinwiddie can step up. He has had plentiful good games for the Dallas Mavericks, and he continues to step up here. Royce O'Neal, very good hustle player for this team. He had 12 points, 15 rebounds, shooting 60% from three. Good stuff there. You look at the Timberwolves, you get 15 points, 11 assists. I thought my light was just kind of flickering. 15 points, 11 assists for Kyle Anderson off of 50% three-point shooting. Rudy Gobert had a crazy good game. 26 points, 13 rebounds, 80% shooting. I mean, wow, that's awesome. 32 for Anthony Edwards, 33% three-point shooting. I mean, both teams played well. I mean, I would rather see Naz Reid play a little bit better. I guess he didn't get that many minutes this game, but that's probably my only complaint. Moving on. Okay, we're done. I would talk about that Nuggets and Spurs game. I know you guys want me to talk about it, but I'm not really sure about it because we're talking about the damn Spurs. Yeah, they pulled off the upset and cool. Nikola Jokic put up 37, 11, and 11 and lost the game. He put up another good stat line today and lost. We could talk about that, and that's actually a good team he's going up against. We can talk about my Celtics going against the Hawks. We were actually in Atlanta, driving back from Florida 2 hours before that game started, so that's an interesting little bit for you guys. Jason Tatum's 34 helped the Celtics hold off the Hawks' comeback. They won by 9. Holding off comebacks, that is something the Celtics have got to work on for sure. A lot of blown leads this ever since the All-Star break. When the Atlanta Hawks wouldn't give up their comeback bid late in the game, Boston coach Mazzulla said the Celtics survived because they were able to navigate the chaos, kind of get through, get stuff done, and win the game. Shout out to Jason Tatum, Chaminade baby. High school jersey, I copped it out of a dope-ass store. If you guys are ever in St. Petersburg, Florida, I believe it's called All-Star VIP Sports or something like that. You can look it up. Dope-ass store. I copped a jersey and 2 shirts. That place is awesome. But we're getting off track. Jason Tatum, 34 and 15. He played great. 24 points for Jaylen Brown. Played great. So good stuff there for the young duo. Looking at the Hawks, 35 and 13 for Trae Young. Trae Young played pretty damn well. I would say, given that they're playing the Celtics, maybe guys like Jalen Johnson can play a little bit better. I mean, he didn't play bad. It's just he wasn't that involved in the offense. I think that's about it. I don't think they played too bad, though. It was just Trae Young was kind of carrying the entire game, doing everything on offense. What other games do we want to talk about from this day? Mavs, Grizzlies, we can talk about that. David Roddy leads a fourth-quarter rally as the Grizzlies beat the Mavericks. He's a rookie, and he had the best scoring night of his career. Insane fourth quarter to help the Grizzlies get the lift over here. They win by 4. Obviously, a shorthanded Dallas Mavericks. No Luka or Kyrie, but, I mean, they kept it to 4 points. I mean, you're still going against guys like Desmond Bane, I would say that's a decent accomplishment for the Mavs. They probably shouldn't be resting their guards too much. They're kind of on the hump here of going into the play-in. Maybe they already are in the play-in, I'm not sure. But, Tim Hardaway, he has been playing pretty damn good recently. He had 23 points, I think. 50% three-point shooting. Josh Green, a guy that can step up, 21 and 10, 50% three-point shooting. Jalen Hardy, young guy, 22 points, 33% from three. Dwight, Dwight Powell has always kind of struggled this year. This game was no different. Guys like him, guys like Maxi Kleba, guys like Justin Holiday. It's just those guys need to step up in place of guys like Kyrie and guys like Luka. Their big man play is not great. I will say that. They can't rebound. They can't play defense at the big man position. That is probably going to be a burden going into the playoffs, but it's still kind of entertaining to see when Kyrie and Luka are on the court what they can do. So we'll just roll with it. Grizzlies 11-10 for Tyus Jones. I don't care if that's not his name. They're twins. It's understandable. 25 points for Desmond Bane, 40% three-point shooting, 24 for David Roddy. I mean, come on, guys. How often, no hate on the player, I mean, he's a rookie. I'm going to cut him some slack here, but how often is that a man like that going for 20? Like, come on. You know, that's just unlucky. It's just kind of unlucky on the, Mavs part. Fuck. Bucks Warriors. We got like 4 more games to talk about here. Steph Curry and the Warriors rally past the NBA best Bucks by 9 in overtime. Steph Curry knocked down all the dazzling shots everybody had come to expect from him in crunch time night after night. And then a surprising block at the rim that mattered just as much or maybe even more. He probably had one of the bigger defensive plays of his career, honestly. It was awesome to watch that take place. He really took control of this game. You look at the Bucks, I mean, 15-13 for Bobby Portis, not missing a single three. My complaints, I mean, really, guys like Jay Crowder not getting involved. Maybe they need to give him more playing time, especially without Giannis. Like, come on now. I don't know. That's really about it. They played good as a team. The 3-guard play for the Warriors was a little too much. 36 points for Steph. I think he shot like 40% from 3. 22 points for Clay. Shot 50%. You get 20 points, 10 rebounds for Dante DiVincenzo, who has been playing some very big. I thought that was Jordan Poole for some dumb reason. They're starting Dante DiVincenzo, and apparently it's working. He's shooting 50% from 3. Like Steph Curry, the Steph Curry effect. It's just rubbing on all the guards, and they're all just popping threes like no other. It's actually insane, like the influence that Steph Curry has had, especially on fucking teammates, you know. Shout out to DiVincenzo. Kings and Suns. No KD. Obviously, KD had that stupid pregame injury. Kings used a late run and a stellar bench to push past the Suns. They're able to win by 9. Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk with some pretty decent scoring for them throughout the game. Very balanced effort. No one was really dominant, and that's good for a championship team. I mean, I don't necessarily think that the Kings are a championship team yet, but that's good for a team that's looking to maybe try to win a title in the next coming years. No one played good, but there was no one that played bad for the Kings. I don't really have any complaints there. You look at the Suns, you get 22 and 12 out of DeAndre Ayton. He shot voice crack, 60% from the field, 16 points, 16 assists for Chris Paul. Sorry about my phone here. 28 points for Devin Booker. He shot 33% from 3. Torrey Craig and Ish Wainwright are kind of just lackluster. They're kind of just role players in the distance. So if they could do a little bit more, then hell, you might be looking at a win there for the Suns. But it is what it is. Moving on to Sunday. Not a crazy day for basketball. There's only 2 games that I think we should talk about. Because the Cavs and Hornets was a good game. But, I don't really care about the Hornets all that much. They're kind of out of it right now. Let's talk about Nets and Nuggets. Another crazy stat line leading to a loss for Jokic. I mean, come on, man. What the fuck? Mikal Bridges and the Nets withstand Nikola Jokic's triple-double, and they beat the Nuggets. Great scoring from Mikal Bridges. He's continuing to show some consistency on this lineup. Brooklyn withstood a late rally and another triple-double by Jokic. They were able to win by a measly 2 points. This was a good game. It was in the early window. You look at the Nets here, and you get 25 points out of Mikal Bridges, 20 points out of Nick Claxton, 15 points and 16 assists for Spencer Dinwiddie. So they definitely had some guys that stepped up and played well. Looking at the Nuggets, 23 points for MPJ, He played pretty well. He was getting the crowd on their feet. 60% three-point shooting, 75% from the field. He was the only really reliable guy out there. Jokic, 35, 11, and 20. Like, we're talking about the MVP race here, and you're telling me that if Giannis puts those numbers up, they're losing the game? I highly doubt it. Like, come on. Casey, and that's in Jokic's favor, by the way. You guys should know that. KCP, Jeff Green kind of got some foul trouble that kind of killed it a little bit. Guys like KCP, guys like Jeff Green, guys like Christian Brown could have did a little more for this squad, but the Nets did play good, to be fair with you. And we can talk about right now the game that just concluded, the Knicks and the Lakers. Very good game. Probably one of the better games of the entire spring break. I was very entertained. Good performances. Julius Randle and the Knicks hold off the Lakers by 4 to snap a 3-game skid. I'm not sure why necessarily I have a cough, but it is what it is. Great bounce-back performance for Julius Randle, scoring the rock. R.J. Barrett in the second half just went crazy, and he played great. I mean, my goodness, great scoring. They were able to win by 4. Yeah, I said that already. I don't want to repeat myself. Looking at the Knicks, they got 2 guys that can really score the ball, even with Jalen Brunson sidelined. 33 points for Julius Randle, 30 points for R.J. Barrett. I mean, that's all they really needed, Lakers, 17 points, 16 assists for Anthony Davis. You get 33 points out of D'Lo. D'Lo was taking over. He was playing really damn good. Just not a big fan of how Jared Vanderbilt played. I mean, he's a great defensive player, but he needs to be more of an offensive option for this team moving forward. So that's going to do it. I don't really have much to say. We'll get back to the normal schedule tomorrow with the slate of games. I'm going to be watching Timberwolves and Hawks for sure. That's going to be a good game. Jazz Heat might be decent. Grizzlies Mavs is always fun. Suns, Warriors, Bucks, Kings. Lots of good games on tomorrow. You guys don't want to miss it. And if you do miss it, obviously you can rely on my content. That's what I'm here for, to give you guys all the biggest NBA news, all the recaps, how every team is doing. You can tune in to see what your favorite team is doing. I pretty much cover it all. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. GCTV as always. Trying to post the best NBA content out there. It might not be the best, but it should be up there. Tomorrow I'm going to make my March Madness bracket. I'm going to go ahead and do that tomorrow. I know it is kind of early in the month. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about the second to last Better Call Saul episode, and that'll be that for content. Fortnite stream possibly tomorrow. I'm going to try my hardest. So I'm out, guys. Peace.